Horror stats pile pressure on Ruben Amorim at Man United despite Benjamin Sesko emulating Cristiano Ronaldo. Ruben Amorim's Manchester United nightmare is showing no signs of stopping with a 3-1 defeat to Brentford, compounding their misery further. The Red Devils came into the game on Saturday following a win over Chelsea, but they've come crashing back down to earth again. Igor Thiago scored 2 before Benjamin Sesko got 1 back before the break to help his side avoid embarrassment. However, Sesko's strike only ended up delaying that embarrassment until later in the game when Matthias Jensen wrapped things up. The defeat for Man United meant they dropped down to 13th in the Premier League table with 7 points from 5 games. But the result was not only the first thing Amorim needed to worry about, with some horror stats emerging post-match. Since his first match in charge of United in November 2024, no team has conceded the first goal in more Premier League games. They have shockingly let in 21 opening goals in that time. On top of that, Man United still have not managed to win consecutive Premier League games under Amorim. The Portuguese boss has taken charge of 33 games in the top flight and has never won 2 in a row. In total, he's only won 9 of the 33 matches, losing 17 and drawing 7, with that record severely concerning. And it doesn't stop there for Amorim, who, with a loss in his 200th game as a manager, has now lost 3 more of his 33 Premier League clashes, 17, than he did in 167 Primera Liga matches, 14. Finding a positive, Amorim may be more focused on the doubts over his future as Man United manager, considering those worrying stats. However, he may find one positive in Sesko getting his first goal for the club after his £74 million summer move. The striker was more involved in the action after a slow start at the club, having 6 shots with 4 on target in total. All 4 of those shots on target came in the first half, and that actually saw him emulate an icon. Sesko became the first Man United player to have 4 or more shots on target in the first half of a league match since Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo managed the feat against West Ham in 2021, so that is a promising sign for the 22-year-old. What has Amorim said? Under pressure, Man United boss Amorim said to TNT Sports post-match, "Of course, we want to win. We didn't control the game. We played the game of Brentford. First balls, second balls, set pieces. All the crucial moments were against us. Tough to lose again, but we need to think about the next one." He added, "The first goal was a long ball. We worked on that in the week and on set pieces. We knew the long balls and one touch they had the opportunity. We need to do better. We didn't play our game. We only had control for some moments. But it was more or less all the same. We need to play our games, not the opponents. But they were stronger on that." On the pressure, Amorim continued, "It is always the same to lose at this club. It hurts a lot. We need to think about the next one." Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Marc Guéhi's feelings on failed Liverpool move confirmed by Crystal Palace boss. Marc Guéhi was set to join Liverpool on transfer deadline day, but Crystal Palace pulled the plug at the last minute after failing to find a replacement for the central defender. Oliver Glasner has no doubts about Marc Guéhi's frame of mind ahead of his potentially uncomfortable Premier League encounter with Liverpool on Saturday. Indeed, he's baffled as to why the England international's professionalism has been so widely commended following the transfer saga, given the centre-half simply fulfilled his contractual obligations. Arne Slot's Reds agreed a deadline day arrangement with Crystal Palace, only for Eagles chairman Steve Parish to abandon the deal at the final moment. During his Friday press conference, Glasner remarked, "I have no concerns at all. I'm completely convinced, and I mention this quite often, as long as Marc is playing for Crystal Palace, he will be playing with 100%. This is what I expect tomorrow. I'm really convinced that he will show this again. He's an amazing player. He's in amazing shape. So I expect a great game from him. Of course, I had a conversation with Marc, but I think you will expect it to maybe have been more or longer. It was really a very short conversation because it was easy. We talked before, we talked at the end of last season, we talked in off-season, we talked in the pre-season, and of course, we talked after the transfer window closed, but it was a 5-minute conversation. On the other side, I'm really wondering why it's so outstanding if you stick to an agreement. It also shows you maybe what kind of times we are living in. If you sign a contract, let's say the normal thing is you stick to your contract. So we are praised for doing what we have to do. I think it's more the opposite. We should blame people who don't stick to their agreement. Of course, he was a little bit disappointed at the beginning, but he said, "No, it's fine. I like being here. I like the team. I like the staff. I like Crystal Palace. I'm a South London boy. It's all good. I will give my best." And this is exactly what I knew would happen. With the suspended Hugo Ekitike unavailable, England international Guehi will be charged with stopping Alexander Isak, who pushed for an exit from Newcastle to secure his dream move to Merseyside at Selhurst Park. Should Palace avoid losing to Liverpool, the London team will extend its unbeaten streak to 18 matches across all competitions, equaling a club record set in 1969. Speaking before facing the only other undefeated team in the Premier League, Glasner said, "I don't care about it, the opportunity to match the club record. Last year, we had the worst start in Premier League history, and at the end, we had a points record. I don't care about records, but of course, it's always better having positive records than going the other way." Ismaila Sarr, boasting 4 goals and 7 appearances against Liverpool, including a goal and assist in the Community Shield victory, is match fit for Palace. Yeremy Pino, Adam Wharton, and Eddie Nketiah are also ready to play, while Caleb Quora, Chadi Riyad, and Sheikh Dukor continue their recovery on the sidelines. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Better off at Bayern. Florian Wirtz warned he made transfer mistake joining Liverpool. Florian Wirtz has been told he would have been better off joining Bayern Munich instead of Liverpool in the summer. The German has made a relatively slow start to life in the Premier League following his history-making move to Anfield in June. He joined the Reds in a deal worth £116 million, which made him the most expensive player in English top-flight history until Alexander Isak's transfer broke the record again on deadline day. Wirtz was, and still is, one of the most highly rated young stars in world football, and because of that, there was huge interest in him. The 22-year-old was pursued by Liverpool, Bayern, and Manchester City in the summer window, with City later pulling out of the race. It left the Reds battling the German giants for his signature, and the Germany international chose the move to England over staying in the Bundesliga. Wirtz's father has since revealed that it was Arne Slot's approach to the game that helped to convince his son to choose Anfield. He did so despite having conversations with Bayern chiefs Karl-Heinz Rummenigge and Uli Hoeneß about a potential transfer. And now, a few weeks into the new season, Rummenigge has questioned Wirtz's decision to turn down the club after talks. What did Rummenigge say? The 70-year-old told German outlet Bild that he believes Wirtz chose the wrong club over the summer. Bayern also missed out on Nick Woltemade, who joined Newcastle instead, with Rummenigge discussing both failed deals. "I have to say honestly, in the case of Florian Wirtz, it still hurts," he admitted, "because I believe the player would have been better off at Bayern than at Liverpool. We could have signed Woltemade. But I also have to say, Bayern Munich are wise enough not to engage in every kind of financial madness. I've always said, we want to achieve sporting success, but please, in a serious and financially sound way. We have a top team, this year as well. And when the 3 players who are currently injured come back soon, then we'll have a great team." Wirtz's stats this season so far. Rummenigge's comments are likely to relate to Wirtz's slow start when it comes to goals and assists for Liverpool. The £116 million midfielder has not had a hand in a goal in any of his 6 appearances in all competitions so far. In the Premier League, he's played 5 games and failed to get involved in a goal despite helping out creatively. Wirtz is also yet to play 90 minutes for Slot's side, being substituted off in every game but the Merseyside derby against Everton last weekend, in which he was benched from the off. It has led to some questions over his price tag and scrutiny of his performances early on in his Reds career. And the Bayern chief clearly believes that the German international wouldn't have had those issues if he had stayed in the Bundesliga. Advice from Jurgen Klopp. Former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp recently gave some advice to Wirtz about adapting to life in the Premier League. Klopp reminded him to stay cool, and that people will give him time to get used to his new team and league. However, Wirtz has now spoken out about not wanting to hear that all the time, despite it being good advice. He told Sky Sports Germany, who asked him whether it is difficult to stay cool when struggling. "No, not for me. Yes, of course I would have liked to have scored a goal or collected a few points. But no matter what anyone says, I'm staying cool. I know what I'm capable of, and I also know that I'll really bring it to the pitch at some point. So I'm just staying cool." That's good advice. Wirtz added, "Yes, I hear it often. I don't want to hear it all the time. Give it time, give it time. Instead, I simply try to do better each time than before. And sometimes there are phases where things might not go well for you. I haven't had that very often in my career. Once I get through it, that's perhaps harsh, because I'm not playing badly. I just haven't gotten the points yet. It will come eventually, and then everything will be fine." Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bryan Mbeumo reveals what Ruben Amorim is doing in training to lead Man United back to glory. Bryan Mbeumo returns to former club Brentford on Saturday, and he is convinced Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim has the right approach to make the team successful once again. Bryan Mbeumo says Ruben Amorim's intense training sessions and the demands he puts on his players can lead Manchester United back to the top. Mbeumo, a £71 million summer signing, returns to Brentford tomorrow for the first time since making the switch and has made an immediate impact for United, winning their Player of the Month award for August. Cameroon international Mbeumo has scored twice for United, started every Premier League game, and is almost certain to be named in Amorim's starting lineup for the game against his former club, which sees Amorim aiming to win back-to-back Premier League games for the first time. Asked how he has found working with Amorim, compared to former boss Thomas Frank, Mbeumo said, "Really good. I've found some similarities between them. He always tries to do training in a fun way, and I think this is really important, to get some fun at football, because it makes life more enjoyable. A new manager is a challenge for me. The training sessions are intense. He wants us to do a lot, do big efforts, and that can only help us to be ready on the pitch. I like it. I think it's important to improve and get better each day I'm here, and that's what I always do. With time, the team can be better, and we're going to work really hard for that. We know we're in a difficult moment, but we just need to stick together. The United players, have welcomed me straight away. They're a big part of it. Changing city or club always needs a bit of time, but everyone helped me a lot. When I first arrive somewhere, I don't like to be loud or show myself a lot, but I can go with people well, and now that's what I've done. It's been great. It's a big club, everything about it, and I'm really happy. The teammates and staff and everyone at Carrington are lovely people, so you really want to come and work here every day. So it's really good." Mbeumo joined Brentford from French club Troyes in 2019 and admitted it took him time to adjust to the change of culture as well as the differences on the pitch in terms of the playing style. "The culture is obviously different, so it was a big change, and the food as well," said Mbeumo. "It's so different. The language as well, even though I could speak a little bit of English before. But especially the food. The porridge was different. I'd never had it before I came here. Do I have it every morning now? No. I would say League 2 is more tactical than the Championship. But the Championship is more physical and with intensity. And the same with England in general. In the Premier League, there are more intense games than in the French League." Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.